Okay, you have your demo, and now you're wondering, where do I go? Who do I go see? First of all, let me caution you. Radio stations already have people working for them. They have production directors, a role that I have played throughout the years. They have image directors, people that they've already employed, and they already are paying people to do the voiceovers, and they're on staff. So you calling them, telling them that you do voiceovers, unless you're actually wanting to work at the radio station and be a production person just getting paid a salary to do that, that's one thing. But if you're looking to pick up a lot of different work, most likely radio station is probably not going to be the ideal place. The ideal place, in my opinion, is going to be agencies. An agent's sole job is to find a talent, a job that matches up with the clients that are looking for a particular voiceover talent and a particular genre. Maybe you do audiobooks. Maybe you have a sultry voice or a sexy voice. Whatever your voice has been identified for, and make sure that whatever coach that you're working with, whether it's me or somebody else, has already identified that. And if you're one of my students and I haven't identified your voice, ask for a voice identification. And it's really a descriptive way of being able to identify you for production purposes, which is very important when a director is looking for a particular voice for a particular project, if that makes any sense to you. So make sure that you have categorization for your voice so producers can find you very easily. Now, yes, an agent is very, very important, and there's agents all across the country. As a matter of fact, there's hundreds and thousands of talent agents coast to coast. Now, where do you find them? The best place on the web that I know of today, bar none, is a place called voicebank.net. Voicebank.net. And you don't need to sign up. You don't have to give any money or anything like that. But on the top of the page, you'll see talent agencies. Click on that button. You go to voicebank.net, click on the button, and there you will see talent agencies, and you'll see a huge number of talent agencies coast to coast. You might see them in your area and all across America. Now you say, well, I don't live in Los Angeles and I don't live in New York. Well, that's okay. You can live in XYZ city and still work in that city if you have a recording studio and they like your voice. So I think at this point I probably should mention ISDN. I get this common question about agencies that specifically ask if you have ISDN capability. Now, first of all, to have a codec, an ISDN unit in your recording studio, that could cost thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars a month after getting the codec. You can rent them for a lot cheaper, but it really is, well, the cost is not that good, and a lot of new technologies have come out to make that a little bit easier. The bottom line is, if they require ISDN, negotiate a rate with a local studio that has an ISDN line for a nominal fee, and you can call around, get the best price, and see, you don't want to have any objections. Yes, I do have an ISDN line. It doesn't have to be your ISDN line, but all they need to know is you have access to ISDN. What is ISDN? ISDN is a digital subscriber line, and it's better than analog. And basically, a studio hooks up with another studio that has the same capability, and it's as if, because the quality is so good, that you're in the studio, and it's a wonderful experience. ISDN. Now, phone patch is the way to go, and that is basically where a director will listen to your session in the studio and be able to hear the session on the phone in real time when you're actually recording on a microphone, be able to critique you and get exactly what they want. Now, you will be recording on your end and then sending the project to them after it's complete. Now, that technology is very inexpensive. You can do this with a magic jack in the back of your computer, believe it or not, and accomplish the very same thing for about $39 for the unit, $19.95 a year, and have your own magic jack number. Now, MP3 is the easiest, most convenient way to send your auditions out and your MP3 out to agencies. The old school way was reel-to-reel and cassette. and then it was CD. Very few places these days ask for a CD. Most times that agencies get compact discs, unless they specifically ask you to send one directly to them, send an MP3 directly to. It's the easiest way, no hassle, and it's instant. Now, what do you do when you're looking to get representation? First of all, you have to find out a couple things. Got to do your homework. So you get the information on VoiceBank or your local Yellow Pages, or if you're Yellow Pages online, or type in talent agency, your city, and you find that there's talent agencies, you need to go to their website. Go to their website and find out if there's a place for voiceover talent. Find out if they represent voiceover talent and see if there's any mention about voiceover talent on their website. Now, not all talent agencies represent voice talent. Now, sometimes they haven't updated their website. Maybe they phased out their voiceover division. But do your homework, because their website should be revealing. Now, occasionally, what will happen is they didn't update their website. So if you want to be positively correct about them representing or not representing, you may want to just call them to ask them the very question, do you represent voiceover talent? And they will tell you immediately if they do or they don't. A lot of talent agencies have a place where you can upload your demo directly onto their website. That's why you want to do your homework. Don't just click on one thing. You want to study the website very, very carefully. So, because you don't want to get the person that's on the phone saying, did you go to our website? Because the information's there and it'll really bug them. And you don't want to bug the agency right off the bat. Not a good idea to bug your agent. So do your homework first. That's the biggest thing. Keith Allen told you to do it. Do your homework. Very, very important. Listen, trial and error. I've done this thousands of times, and I know better. So what I would do, a little trick, by the way, when you're sending an MP3 or an MP4, for you that may not know what an MP3 is, and I know that there's folks that are trying to get into the internet, trying to figure out how that all works. Now, with technology, a WAV file takes up a lot of space. So what engineers have done is they've allowed technology, they found a way, excuse me, I'm banging my microphone, they're able to compress the file down from this big, so they shrink it, and the quality is still wonderful. So if you are sending an MP3 to an agency and you have iTunes, the suggested idea is to drag some artwork, make some artwork, and drag it into the artwork selection on your file and then send it off to them, because a lot of the agencies have iTunes where your demo could live. But if you don't have artwork attached to your demo, you come across plain. So the trick that a lot of VO talent, including yours truly, that I'll attach a photograph or a logo, Keith Allen Voice. So I have branded myself, and I've tried to make myself reasonably memorable, and I want to stand out. I don't want to just be somebody else shooting a demo to them. Does that make any sense? All right, and if you need more information about how to create an MP3, there's software, how to record on my website at 57th Street Media, just how to record. On the More section, there's a toolbar at the top of the page. Go over, it says More, how to record. But MP3 is definitely the way to go. All right, formalities. How do I address these talent agencies? Now, first of all, make sure that your demo has been gone over by a voice coach and somebody that is in the business, not locally and solely locally, but somebody that's done national work, that is represented nationally themselves, and somebody that really is on the up and up. You don't want to just send a demo out and then not get any calls back because the demo is really sloppy, not produced well, old production values, and the talent is just not complementing the copy. There's just so many different variables that we look at here at 57th Street Media. It's really the whole picture. So this is very important. Marketing is the next phase after our program, and this video is designed to help you and introduce you into getting involved with getting yourself representation. Okay, so anyways, that might be just too much for some of you as far as the artwork goes, but the bottom line is it's a file, it's your voice file that you want to send to the agency. Now, along with a short and sweet introduction. You don't have to give them your pedigree. You can tell them that you're a professional voiceover talent looking for representation. You understand that such and such agency is a superior agency. It would be an honor to be represented by you, and you may want to drop some things that you may have learned about the agency, and short and sweet, and let them know that you'll be following up with them, or they can call you. Now, follow-up is essential. You send something out within a week, you need to contact the person and get a name with a person specifically at the agency that's going to listen to the demo. If you don't know who that is, the website doesn't show that, find out the front desk to find out who handles the voiceover division at your agency. And if they ask why, you tell them that you're a professional voiceover talent and you need to speak to somebody because you're seeking representation at their agency, and they will be able to direct you to the right person. Now, what you want specifically is their email address and their phone number. Can't get their phone number, get their email address. Next best thing. Actually, a lot of times email is the best thing. The bottom line is you want them to listen to you. And there's several things that happen. Some people think because an agency doesn't call you right back that they must have hated you and not going to represent you. That's the end of the story, and that's not really how it works. Agents are busy, typically ones that are successful. Yes, there's busier times of the year than others, but largely speaking, they're drumming up more work because the thing is, the way that agencies work is they make money for their clients, the agency makes money, and then they get paid. So really, it makes sense for the agents to actually find you work, okay? But they have people on the roster, and you got to understand that they have other people that they're represented at the time, and you know they're always looking for new and exceptional talent and unique talent and a new voice. And the way that I look at it, and the way that I've heard it said, ad agencies constantly call the talent agencies and ask this very question: do you have anybody new over there? They think they've heard everybody. They're just looking for something new and exciting. How about that new girlfriend of yours, right? Or that new guy that you hooked up with. You got to tell your girlfriends about it, right? Well, it's the same thing about voices. Look, there's always room for a new voice, okay? So that's very, very exciting. You just want to make sure that your product is good. I mean, really good, exceptional, and up to par. I mean, if you're going for representation, and think about this, representation from an agency, okay? You got to be up to par. A lot of people just think, oh, this training is malarkey. It's a bunch of crap. You know, I can read. It's definitely voice acting, and there's a lot more polish that goes into it. It's not just spit and glue, and it's not just trial and error either. Going to the agencies, there's a real science to this. Now think about this for a moment about the science, okay? We're not talking rocket science here, but there's a strategy, and the strategy is the advertising agency, where the ideas are brewed up and the company goes because they have a great product. They have this widget and they think it's wonderful, but they have no idea how to spin it. They have no idea how to propagate. The agency knows how to do that. And so what will happen? Somebody wants to come in. They're just going to have to wait. We're taping this thing here. This is important. And I'm on a roll here, and I'd hate to just stop this and have to do it again. So thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, as a matter of fact, on a lot of campaigns use the ad agency and depend on these people to get results. Now, equally as important as the copy is the production. They got to cast for the right talent. And hopefully that talent's going to be you. Okay, it's got to fit like a glove. It's got to be tight. The music's got to be right. The talent's got to be right. I was just talking to a guy in Long Island, and he works in radio, and sometimes I have to educate radio guys about the difference between ad agencies and working at a local radio station. Typically, this is kind of a weird thing, and broadcasters really don't like to hear about it. And again, I started in broadcasting in '86, Not a prerequisite. A lot of agencies hate to hear that you actually have a radio background unless you don't sound radio-ish. Got this big radio delivery. Now listen, all radio people don't quite sound like that. Some people, they do well and exceptionally well and understand there's a lot of acting to it. It's not just one read. But the versatility is very, very important, and the polish is important. And, when I talk about polish, it just doesn't sound rehearsed. It's natural, no matter if it's a corporate, industrial, it's a narrative, it's books on tape, guy next door, girl next door voice, or whatever it is, corporate retail. It just has this agency ring to it, and it's refreshing. So anyways, back to getting ourselves out to the agency. I wanted to just kind of break it down to you exactly how the business kind of works. So the agency, they're casting through the talent agency to find the right person. And then what happens is you're on a list. If the agency likes you, now you could be in the company of, another guy or two. Because they're undecided. It could be as many as 50 or 100 people sometimes. It depends on how large the media campaign is. It could be hundreds of people auditioning for one project. Just remember, as a voiceover talent that's represented, you're always going to audition much more than you're going to ever get. The idea is if you get, obviously the money is pretty darn good. A lot of people ask me, well, how much money am I going to make doing voiceovers? If I get myself out there with the agency, how much money am I going to make on one shot? Well, there's a lot of variables. What's the project? Who's the company? What's the project? Is it, a $10,000 deal and they're paying you $3-4 grand, or maybe you're making $2 grand off the project? Is it a long-running campaign? Is it a buyout? Long-running campaign could mean because it's on for a long time and it's not a buyout, you get residuals. That's a good thing. You get check after check. If it's a buyout, but it's a big deal, it's going national on television, it's going on radio, it's the internet, it's international, it's satellite radio. Well, usually the further the reach, the longer the duration, more money. But sometimes, the budget's just nil. And you get nothing. So it depends on the project. How big's the project and who's the company? And sometimes who's the company? They're cheap. And sometimes you will do cheap work. I tell you not to sell out, as I think it cheapens the business. But that's another story in itself, and probably another video in the future. Okay, so setting ourselves up. First of all, you want to make sure that you have a good running computer. You want to make sure that you're set up, and what you send out, make sure that you spell check. Make sure that you have a formal letter. You don't want it to be, what do I want to say, too lax, or too like, I really hope to hear from you really soon, or anything like that. An example, like I gave several minutes ago, would be to introduce yourself and who you are, that you're a professional in the industry, and you're seeking representation from their agency. That's really the bottom line. Short and sweet. They don't have a lot of time to mess with. They know what you're trying to do. Please listen. That's what they're going to do. And then let them know you're following up with them, and they're going to listen. And they may give 5-10 seconds. They don't hear what they want. And maybe it's not so memorable. So that's like I say, if it's 5-10 seconds worth of listen, make sure that this thing is really good. Okay? Produced impeccably, and that you're meant for the copy. And typically working with a coach, that works. Typically. If you're with the right one. Now just make sure that the person's credible. I can't tell you how many crazy repeats that I have to do with companies all over the country for people that were the wrong guy or girl, for has-beens, or companies that shouldn't have ever been in the business, or just radio guys that have no experience actually being, quote-unquote, a professional voiceover talent. Some people don't think that you're ever going to make it in voiceover. Now, how do you make it in voiceover, and how can you make it successful? First of all, you have to have a backbone. You have to be tenacious, and you have to have the ability to pick up the phone. If you can't pick up the phone and dial an agency and do the follow-up after sending the email, then you have no business being in business. It's typical. Now, you want to work on your delivery. Some of you are not very outgoing type of people, okay? So the email might suffice more, but the human contact is very, very important. You'd want to do that follow-up. Sometimes you will get immediate follow-up on there that they enjoyed it. Now, what happens if they want to represent you? What happens? Sometimes there's agencies that want you to sign a contract with them, meaning there's a no-compete in a city. And you want to kind of look at that carefully. And some of you may want to check out an attorney. Usually it's basic information to saying that you shouldn't be represented by another agency in that city. And typically these are larger cities, kind of Dallas, Los Angeles, Chicago, etc. And smaller cities, not so. Now, some people are very loyal to an agency, and I do believe in loyalty. I have several agents across the country, however, and the old days where you just had one. Now, I'm represented from coast to coast, but I don't talk to one agency about the other agency. But here's where it gets a little dicey, okay? Occasionally, I'll get the same audition from two different agents of mine. I have to make the decision of who shows me the money. And that's a fact, okay? Who shows me the money, but I'm not going to send out two auditions, okay? Because that same company is going to find out that I sent it twice, okay? If they didn't like me once, they're not going to like me twice. Maybe they will, but not a great idea, okay? So don't do that. That's where it gets dicey. This is another way where it gets dicey, okay? If you're with an agency and say you're doing a Kmart commercial and then you get an audition for Walmart. Now listen, if that media campaign's going on at the same time as that, it's a short-lived career. You cannot be on two competing department stores or two competing products. There's legalities, and you have to talk to your agent about those particular things because you don't want to have a short-lived voiceover career. Now, how are you successful? You got to continue sending out demos every single day. Well, at least 3 to 5 bare minimal in a 5-day work week. And on the weekend, send more. That's how you do it. Now, besides agencies, where else do you go? You got the local cable companies, okay? You may have Charter out in California. You might have Bright House Networks or Cox Cable. Whatever your cable, Verizon, whatever it is, you can call the production center, ask for the production or the creative service department where they do the commercials, and introduce yourself locally and say, I'm a local voiceover talent and wanted to touch base with you and see if you might like my voice and maybe I can be utilized in some of your commercials. Very smart. And many times they are looking for new voices. Now, you're not going to make a fortune, but it all adds up. Believe me, it adds up. I have small agents and I have giant agents, but they all add up at the end of the year, okay? Just remember that. It all adds up. But you don't want to totally give it away, okay? Trust me. You actually want to make money, and that's kind of the name of the game, okay? Making money. Now, other places, remember where there's video, there's always audio, and so you want to talk to producers that are putting together videos. They always are looking for voiceover talent. Another big thing is corporate training videos, PowerPoint presentations with companies that present their company and different products they're pitching to, say, the Chamber of Commerce in Miami or whatever it might be. But they need a voice, and there are businesses out there. You can listen to commercials, which is a slick way if you have a lot of time on your hands. And you hear a really bad commercial, well, why don't you revoice it or rewrite it if you have writing skills? That's another way. Now it's really old school. Some of the radio people remember doing some of that stuff, especially as account executives. You'd steal it and end up running on the radio station, but if they wanted the commercial, they had to run on your station. It was kind of a slick idea. And it still works today, believe it or not. If the spot works and it's good and it sells, that's the bottom line. The spot has to sell. But you want to sell yourself too. You want to have confidence, okay? Confidence is important. Bottom line with the demo that you're sending out, you want to make sure that you're able to reproduce in front of a director in a studio and sound exactly the way the producer wants you to hear. You need to be directable. That's very, very important. So hopefully at this point, when you're looking at this marketing, you really already have this magnificent product. But If you're looking for some nuggets of gold, many of you have found me here on YouTube. And for more information, you can find more information about a lot of different things on our website at 57th Street Media. It's the number 5, the number 7, then letters T as in Tom, H as in Harry. That's 57th Street Media.com. Altogether, 57thstreetmedia.com. Now, I've been at this since 1986. That's a long time in voiceovers. And let's see, what are some of the things I have to have a conversation with myself? I should have somebody interviewing me here instead of taping, right? What are some of the things that I have found to be some of the most beneficial when finding work, drumming up? One thing that I have found is you'll be so surprised most days when you just call. And remember, you're going to have people hang up on you sometimes when you call. Sometimes when you visit, they can't see you. But listen, when you think it's not going to happen, it happens. Right time, right place. Tenacity. You have to be persistent. You have to continue, okay? That's perseverance. Not giving up. Positive attitude above anything else. I'm choked up about it. Positive attitude is very critical. Staying positive, whatever it is. I have something on my wall here. You can't see it. Imagine your dream, create your happiness, and live your life. It's on my wall. I don't know if I can show you here. It's up. Let's see. There it is. Isn't that awesome? Okay. All right. So back down to me. I know. Isn't that annoying when somebody says that they're going to show you something and they say they can't show it to you? Well, I'm self-producing this on my iMac, so I'm able to do a lot of different things here. And then you hear some banging on the microphone. This is not professionally produced. What are you looking at here? All right, so are you set up? You got everything in your studio in place. You got your demos ready. You got your lists, right? voicebank.net. Locally, you can log on to your local directories through Google and Yahoo, Bing, whatever you use. Look for talent agencies and contact them. They're all over the country. Don't let objections like, well, you know, if you don't have ISDN, I don't have a recording studio. What happens if I don't have a recording studio? Well, why don't you have a recording studio? Well, I don't have any money. Can you afford a $300 microphone? You say no. Can you afford a $80 microphone? If you're looking for a cheap mic with big results, the AT2020, the Audio Technica 2020. It's called A, like the letter A, T, Technica. That's what it stands for, Audio Technica. You want the 2020. You don't have to have a soundboard. Make sure you get the USB so you can plug it right into your computer. Now you want to have a pop filter. Pop filter, very, very important. That's this little deal here. It doubles as a fly swatter, if you didn't know. It actually catches spit, keeps your peas from popping. Not as bad. Don't be polite. Now imagine without the pop filter to see. Don't be polite. Oh, wow, that was terrible. See what that pop filter does? Don't be polite. It doesn't just pop so bad. Pop. Okay, and it helps you with your S's. Do you like this demonstration? Is this working? Does this help? You love my antics? You love how relaxed I am in my environment? Any more coffee left? 1 second. Let me get some coffee here. Yeah, don't give up. By the way, there's two people that throw in the towel too early. Now, as far as money making, being able to make money, you want to build your business like any business. You're going to make some money. You're going to lose some money. You're going to make some money. You're going to lose some money. You want to make money. You want to keep money. Don't buy things you don't need. You can do things on the lowdown. Now, if you're looking for soundproofing, you're looking in the back of my studio. I have a lot of bass drops in my studio. I'm not going to show you everything here, but it's a pretty set up studio here. There is a unit that's a reverberation unit. And what that does, if you look at it here, And what that does is it shields the mic from the room. So you don't have to have soundproofing all over the walls. Imagine that. And that's a beautiful thing. You can get that at Guitar Center. And you can make your own too. You can get a box and buy some soundproofing that you see in the back and put it in a cardboard box and then put your mic up. You can go on my website under the store, on Harlan Hogan's store. Make sure you go through my website under my store page, and you can buy something a lot cheaper, or you can go to the Guitar Center and look at some contraptions there. Harlan Hogan has a wonderful mic for about $300 that sounds like a Neumann, if not better, and this is the microphone when I'm actually using it correctly that sounds terrific. And should I actually do a commercial for you so you can kind of hear what the quality is here? Let's see. Oh, this is a little thing that I did for interactive maps here. Websites, mobile applications, interactive kiosks. With our customized maps, you can emphasize every detail of your area with different sizes, colors, shapes, and graphics. Show icons, videos, or phones of highlighted locations. Let's redo that line. Show icons, videos, or photos of highlighted locations. Download maps as an image or a PDF file. Filter location icons by categories. Print details about a specific map, item, name, address, phone, description, etc. Indicate meeting points for friends. 3 ways to profit from Mapazone maps. 1. Customize maps. I do PowerPoint presentations, IVR systems, training films all over the country. So this is the kind of standardized type of voice here. And it's kind of an instructional type of voice. It doesn't get in the way. It informs. It's not really amazingly crazy and exciting. It's just, it gives you the facts, and it's professional. It's clean. So it's good stuff. So anyways, the Harlan Hogan MXL signature microphone, volume 1A. I guess there'll be a 1B. What's so cool about this microphone? It was made by Harlan Hogan, which is a awesome voiceover talent. And I'm friends with and sell his microphone on my website. Great microphone. First one designed by an actual voiceover talent. And I don't know in your area if you heard the commercial for Laser Vision. He's just got this unique voice. You can listen to it on the store page. Demonstrations at the website. And he's like, amazing is amazing at any age. He's got this really deep voice. Amazing is amazing at any age. I mean, you know, he's got this mature voice. You know, he's a little older than I am. Notice I'm nice. A little older. Okay. I hope this has been helpful and educational, and we'll have additional videos about studio setup. But under recording, if you want more information on how to record, what you need to record, and if you ever need additional information, you can simply email me off 57streetmedia.com. If you're new to YouTube and you've stumbled on this video, how to find 57th Street Media, quite simply, is the number 5, the number 7. That's the number 5, the number 7, then letters T as in Tom, H as in Harry, Street, spelled out, media.com. So altogether, 57TH, Street, STREET, media, MEDIA.com. Now, I coach all across America and around the world via Skype. So if you need coaching, you need mentoring and marketing advice in addition to this video, we can work something out. Send me an email, give me a ring off my website. Great spending time with you. I hope this has been great and informative for you. Share this with all your friends. And don't forget to check back to 57th Street Media sometime soon, because we're always updating the website. Have a great evening or a great morning or afternoon, wherever you might be watching. Take care. I'm Keith Allen.